領域展開
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy KitePlanet. But for you, you could call me Kite if you're like that. Some people aren't like that, but I'm like that. This is the second installment so far, this brief stint. If you missed the first one was me revealing to the world what Dr. Stein from Soul Eater, his Nin ability, or Hatsu. So I created that and made that into a video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It'll be linked at the end. My videos like these are not published to my subscribers because of algorithmic reasons. If I publish them to my entire subscribers, people won't watch it because my entire base is blue lock. So I can't do that. So you may have missed the previous videos, and that'll go for any videos like these. Go check the Power Systems playlist. They'll all be on there. If you're new entirely to my channel, welcome. I have more videos for you. Go check them out if you like that. And yeah, that's about it. Like and subscribe as well so I can put out more of these. I'm sitting on them. I'm stockpiling them. I want to keep dropping them. So hit the like button for me so I can see that you like them and give you what you want. But yeah, I think that's about it. Today, we're going to be discussing the illusory ability that is Minato Namikaze's curse technique. I didn't want to go off on a wild goose chase and just create a random ability for Minato. Of course I could, but I didn't want to do that. So what I did was take his already existing skill set and tweak it and do what I need to do. The main one being Flying Raijin. Yes, Flying Raijin, the most notorious ability of Minato. Really one of the most notorious abilities in all of anime. It's really infamous. Everyone knows Flying Raijin. It's one of the most well described, written, created, manifested abilities in all of anime, to be honest. In my opinion, I love this ability. It's so iconic, and I didn't want to completely erase it from Minato's character type. So I took my spin on it, me being the anime scientist, experimentalist, just an overall, the world's leading anime experimentalist, theorist, whatever. What do you want to call it? You know what I'm trying to say. I'm the best. That's all I'm trying to say. And I made this ability. So I got a lot of stuff I want to show you and explain to you. So really stick around, as well as you all know what the end all be all to Jujutsu Kaisen techniques is. What's the most grandiose ability? That's here too. So stick around if you want to see that. But let's get right into it. So actually, before that, 3 questions. I need you to answer these as you get all the info as the video goes on. What grade does this ability make Minato? Grade 1, semi grade 1, supreme grade 1, special grade, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, all that. What grade does it make him? Who is the strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen that he could beat or fight really hard with, and it could go either way? Who's the strongest character? And how would the story play out if Minato had this ability and was on the side of the Jujutsu sorcerers? I don't want to say the good or bad side, because who's to say who's good or who's bad at this point? Maybe you guys can make it clear cut and decide, oh, this side's bad and this side's good. I really can't. It's morally gray to me, in my opinion, because everybody's killing everybody. Once I saw Jogo say, damn, like, you killed all my homies, you killed Hanami, then I started thinking, like, those are his homies, like, y'all killed his homies. Anyways, that's not the point. There's not really a good or a bad side in Jujutsu Kaisen, in my opinion, if you really sit down and think about it. If Minato with this ability was on the Jutsu sorcerer side, how would they fare against Sukuna? Like, better, worse, the same? And then the other side, if he was on the bad side, as y'all would say, or Sukuna and Kenjaku side, would it already be over? Would it be the same? Would it not make a difference? Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. What's the most important part about a curse technique? It's really the name. Boogie Woogie, Limitless, Cleave, Dismantle, Curse Speech. These are 10 shadows. These things are ingrained, no pun intended, into our brain, into somewhere in the right prefrontal cortex. These things are stuck in our brain. When we think of Jujutsu Kaisen, we think of these curse techniques. So the name is very important. The name of Minato Namikaze's curse technique is Forget Me Not. It's really a beautiful name, to be honest, fitting of this ability that I'm about to show you. So, oh my god, Forget Me Not, so great. Anyways, let's just get right into it. What does Forget Me Not do? Minato's technique, Forget Me Not, removes the memories of him from the brain. Yeah, removes the memories of him from your brain the moment you lose sight of him. So losing sight of Minato means you forget about his existence altogether, curse energy included. So if you're fighting Minato, y'all are fighting whatever, and you punch him through a building, right? It happens a lot in Jujutsu Kaisen. Someone gets punched through a building. You lose sight of him, of course, because he just flew through in a building. You forget you were fighting Minato. You forget everything about him. His entire existence is erased from your memory. So you're like, but I know I was fighting somebody. What was I doing? Who was I fighting? What was I fighting? Was I fighting a person, a curse user, a cursed spirit, Jujutsu sword? Who was I fighting? And you don't remember his existence. This is not to say that he becomes invisible, but he does become invisible to you. He could be standing right in front of you and you could not see him. Not because he's invisible, because if someone over to the right was looking at y'all, he would be able to see, or they would be able to see you and Minato. But you can't see Minato because you lost sight of him and now you don't know he exists. But this only works for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you regain all those memories and it comes back and you're like, oh, I was fighting this guy. Okay, I get it. And you're like, that's a weird ability. Like, is that his ability? What happened? I gotta keep my eye on him now. Basically is what's gonna happen. But that's hard because once you lose sight of him again during the fight, you will forget everything pertaining to Minato again, including the ability, including the fact that you were like, oh, that's part of his ability. Like he disappears or I forget or something like that. And you'll forget that you forgot the first time. So this ability just compounds on top of itself over and over again. It's not a passive technique. I want to express that because I had originally intended to make it a passive technique to where anybody who like saw Minato and then didn't see him after that forgot about him. But that would make Minato like so lonely in the verse or whatever. Like everyone be like, hey, oh Minato, I'll catch you next time. It was nice meeting you. As soon as they turn around to go home, they forget he exists. And that would just be Minato's existence. So I didn't want to make that the ability. So it's an active ability that he has to turn on and off at will, but he's Minato, so he can do it whenever he wants. He just knows, oh, he lost sight of me, turn on the ability. That's how it works. So yeah, forget me not. The moment you lose sight of Minato, you forget his existence. Not that he's invisible, but you just can't acknowledge it. Like you could bump into him and be touching him, be face to face to him. Within that 10-second window, you can't see him. You don't know he's there. You can't hear him, smell him, see him, touch him, taste him, nothing. His existence is erased to you. Pretty broken ability. So yeah, but there's also another aspect to this ability. It's not just this passive, because that inherently by itself is not dangerous. All right, it can't hurt you. That can't hurt you. Only Minato can hurt you. So there's another part to it. Forget Me Not also has another application. If Minato touches you and then touches another object within 3 seconds of touching you, you will forget the existence of that said object for 15 seconds. Dangerous right there. Many ways that could be used. For espionage, maybe, weapons. If Minato's fighting you and he punches you, then pulls out a sword within 3 seconds of punching you, that sword that he pulled out would not exist to you. It would be there, he'd be holding it, and he'd be cutting you and slashing you up for 15 seconds, and you'd be like, what the, like, why am I bleeding? Like, why do I have a gash? Why's my hand gone? Like, he doesn't have a weapon, but he does have a weapon. You just don't notice it. This ability only works on objects, and only works one at a time. Like, once he uses it on a sword, it's over with. Like, he has to throw it away because it won't work again on it. So he can't keep doing it over and over again with weapons. But if he has like 8 swords on him, you're pretty much cooked. So yeah, if he touches you, then touches something else within, this applies to like skyscrapers. If he punched you and then touched a skyscraper for 15 seconds, you would not see the skyscraper. You wouldn't even know it exists. You could try to walk right through it and run into it, and you'd be like, why can't I walk through this air? It just doesn't exist to your senses. It's there, you just can't acknowledge it. So yeah, those are the 2 applications of it. If you lose sight of him, his existence is no longer known to you. If he touches a weapon, touches you and a weapon within 3 seconds of each other, you forget the object exists. And yeah, now, it's important there are nicknames in Jujutsu Kaisen for the top tier characters. The disgraced one, the unseen one. That's what we're going to give Minato. So like the disgraced one and the honored one, we're gonna give Minato the name the unseen one, or Minato the unseen, or Minato the unseen one. Pretty cool nickname. I like that. It kind of reminds me of Undead Unluck, where they have like the un in front of all the abilities. So he's gonna be the unseen. I like that one. I just wanted to throw that in there for, so anytime Minato pulls up in Jujutsu Kaisen, they're like, shit, like that's the unseen one, or that's Minato the unseen, for the people that know him. That's pretty raw. That's pretty cool. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get down to the nitty gritty, the real stuff, the domain expansion. the end all be all. You got to realize that anytime a domain expansion is pulled out, it's pulled out to kill. Like, people aren't sitting here like, all right, let's pull out our domain expansion, just cut. No, it's pulled out to kill, with the effect to end the battle, to kill that person and damage them severely. So really think about the domain expansions here. When I really thought about it, I was like, whoa, like, he's pulling this out to kill him. There's no talking, there's no nothing. Domain expansions are business only. We're not doing all that bullshit. Pull out that domain expansion and that's it. So what is the name and what is the function of Minato's domain expansion? The name is important. The name of Jujutsu Kaisen is important every single time. So I came up with the name Samsara's Embrace, or in Japanese that would be Rine no Hoyo. So domain expansion, Samsara's Embrace, or Ryoiki Tenkai, Rine no Hoyo. And I'll tell you what it means at the end after I describe the ability, because it's perfect. It's really cool. So what does Samsara's Embrace do? Once hit by this domain, you are stripped of everything you've ever learned in this life, including all memories, how to talk language, how to use your curse energy, and all your fine motor skills are stripped away from you. You are now essentially reduced to the level of a newborn infant while in a teenager or adult's body. All your memories are gone. You forget everything you've ever learned in life. You're still like a person. You're still a human. And it's not like Gojo's ability where you get hit with infinite void and you turn into a vegetable and that's it. And you can't function for the rest of your life. This strips you down to like a child. You basically turn into a child, but you can relearn all this stuff if you survive. Like, if he doesn't kill you, if he hits you with his domain and just like walks away, is like whatever. If he chooses not to kill you, which is unlikely because like I said, domain expansions are used to kill. You could relearn all this shit. It would just take you a long time. If you got hit with this when you were 20 years old and you were fully cognizant and know everything, after another 20 years, you'll be right back where you were when you were 20 instead of where your mind should be when you're 40. Just resets your progress on life. Pretty broken ability. I don't like that. So it's not like you can't breathe or do anything, because we're born knowing how to breathe, how to scream, how to flail and move. We're born knowing how to use the bathroom. Not like we don't know when to use it, but we know how to use it. So you can do all that stuff. That stuff's not learned. You're born knowing how to do that stuff. But as for your memories, you forget all your friends and family, everybody you've ever known, gone. Everything you've ever learned about your curse technique and your domain expansion, all of that, gone. How to move and talk and all that stuff. You don't know language anymore. You can't make fine moves, so you're a baby. Like, you fall down immediately, you're on your back, like, you turn into a baby. Basically, it strips all life experience of you. I don't know how this would affect somebody like Sukuna, because I said the conditions are it strips you of everything you've ever learned in this life. So maybe Sukuna died. So maybe he just forgets everything he learned from the time he first manifested in Yuji. You can let me know, how would this affect someone like Sukuna or Kenjaku, since he switched into different bodies and had technically however many lives. If you count each body as a life, who knows how many lives he's had. So how would it work against people like that? How would this domain expansion affect them? I don't know. You'd have to tell me. But yeah, I called it Samsara's Embrace because Samsara is like the Buddhist or Hindu term for the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And in the domain, basically, once he opens the domain, you were born already, you die in the domain, and you're reborn again as an infant. Physically, this doesn't happen, but it's just a metaphor for the fact that he stripped you of all your life experience, you died. And so you're going to have to relearn everything. And when you relearn everything, you'll become a different person. You'll have a different life. You'll have different experiences. And so that's why I named it Samsara's Embrace, because you're being embraced by the cycle of rebirth, of birth, death, and rebirth. So you become something new totally. You get a fresh start. It's not necessarily all bad, but I wouldn't want it to happen to me, if I'm being honest. I don't know how you feel about that, but I would not want my life's progress to be reset at all and have to restart everything. So pretty fucked up. Now let's get back to the first 3 questions I asked. Now that you know the ability, Forget Me Not, you know the sub abilities and domain expansion, where does this put Minato in terms of grade? What grade sorcerer is he? First grade, or grade 1, grade 2, all that stuff. who's the strongest character he could fight with and possibly win. And if you put him on Sukuna's side or Jujutsu Tech side, Jujutsu Sorcery World, how does he help? Does he help the Jujutsu Sorcerers beat Sukuna faster? Does it not make a difference? And on the other side, respectively. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a better ability for Minato, if you think you do, drop your paragraph. Like I said, I'll read it, go through it, and we can talk person to person, man to man, woman to woman. It doesn't matter. I'll discuss it with you in the Discord. That will be linked in the description below. And yeah, drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Also, give me suggestions for other characters you want to see. I may not get to them in the next few videos because these are all already done, but I will get to them. If it's a good idea, I'm not just going to leave it there. I can't do that. I can't just leave. I can't leave food on my plate. Why would I do that? I'm not leaving money on the ground. I got to pick it up. So let me know your ideas. Leave a like, comment what you think. Subscribe as well if you like the content. And as always, the video will drop in the day after the next if you hit the like button. I will catch you in the next one, guys. Peace. 君の気持ちを大事にしなかった私の頭